Okay, hi Rob, Karen here obviously. I thought I'd give you a video response because if I try and put all this on Facebook it's going to scream or kill me. Um, Firstly, I am so sorry with what you're going through. So, I think, well, there's two things I can do. The first thing I'm going to do now is my perspective on what you're asking on your video in terms of how you tackle your problem. First thing I would say, I think somebody else has said something along these lines. I'm going to kind of go into a bit more detail on it. Get fundraising. At the end of the day, you're a cult film director, yeah? You've got Cold Hearts, you've got Neighbour. Those are the main two I know of. Cold Hearts is quite famous. People know about you, do you know? I think one thing you could do with doing is networking with film people you know and maybe see if you can get something to auction from people, mementos, maybe bits of costume. I know, I'm not just saying necessarily from your films, but, speak to people, who've worked on other films that you know. See if you can get people to donate something that you can potentially auction on eBay just to get some additional money in. Raise awareness of it on Facebook. Actually ask people if they can do this for you. You've got a lot of fans on that site, mate. Use them. Second and third thing, in terms of what you do, I don't think you just leave it to chance and go without the radiation. I know obviously there's money involved. I think you've got to be, I would suggest to say, bear in mind I'm not a medic at all. I would suggest that you're quite careful before you go to organisations offering holistic therapies. I say this for two reasons. One, I have no idea about the organisation you've talked about. I haven't had time to research it and I don't know about what they do. But one thing I do know is that a lot of organisations will suggest every bloody herbal remedy you can think of. And at the end of the day, they're not proven. They may say they are, but as far as I'm aware, they're not. There's a big hoo-ha going on in England at the moment because the holistic therapy centre's trying to get, I don't know, certification or whatever, and the General Medical Council are just saying you're having a laugh. The thing to be careful of is to make sure that yes, you live a healthy lifestyle, but you don't spend out money on things like holistic therapies that you could otherwise spend on other treatment. Okay. One thing that is potentially worth looking into are the outcomes of a series of studies that were done recently. I can't tell you the universities because I've forgotten them. Two or three. One was concerning cancer patients, I think about 2 years ago. It was a longitudinal study that took place over about 5 or 10 years, whereby they went back and they interviewed people who'd had cancer and had gone to one of these places where they did visualization. They had them walking on the beach in the head, they had them see themselves as well, blah de blah de blah. Now, one thing they found with this study is that people who had gained good visualization skills did not have increased chances of survival. They may have felt better, they may have improved their own willingness to kind of think about the situation, but as far as I'm aware, they didn't have better chances of survival. The reason I say this is it's again another thing that a lot of people will tell you are going to help, but which realistically may just detract from other things. I also know that a number of people, particularly in magical groups, would shoot me for saying this, because visualization is considered to be one of the hallmarks of so-called practical magic. But the fact of the matter is, as far as I'm aware, there is no scientific evidence that it improves rates of recovery. However, there is something that has turned up some interesting results. In another study, I can't remember again who the heck it was from. If I can find it, I'll send you it. A group of scientists did a study on several groups of mice. Now what they did was they implanted these mice with cancerous tumours. One set of mice they put back into the normal habitat and let them get on with it, didn't do anything else. The other set they put in basically the theme park of mice cages. They gave them lots of friends and included lots and lots of toys, games, treats, you name it. And little mice basically lived like they were living in an amusement park. Now, they were very careful to monitor things like diet and all the rest of it. Nothing, as far as I'm aware, I can't remember the exact ins and outs, so it's slightly contradictory, but as far as I'm aware, there was no additional reason why anything should change. We're very careful about this. But the mice who were socialised more, this is the basic point I can remember about it, the mice who were socialised more actually had their cancer tumours shrunk. They actually shrunk. Now, I don't know if that study's finished, I can't remember to be honest. I read it very briefly in the paper one morning while I was half asleep. But the idea almost seems to be not a case of think yourself well, but as far as I'm aware, and one thing might be an idea to have a look at in this sense is drug studies. If you're feeling reasonably good about yourself, it seems to boost your immune system. And that is what seemed to be what helped these mice. They don't know necessarily, I'd assume what had been put into them, but they improved. Now obviously there's a lot more research to be done in the area, and I would seriously suggest maybe finding out about that. What I wouldn't suggest is spending hours and hours poring over your condition on the internet, because you're just going to worry yourself sick. But the thing is, essentially just keep going, okay? Be very, very careful not to accept snake oil, and rely on your mates. Go out, have fun, give yourself the best chance you can, and basically put it in his hands up there. The other thing I'm going to do for you, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is the interview that we recorded a fair few weeks ago. I had terrible problems with it because it turned out my computer froze in the middle, but I've managed to recover it, which is bloody marvellous. I've waited till now to do this, partly because quite frankly I ran out of time. I've had issues going on over here, but partly because of the time when the actual DVD is coming out. Keep an eye out on the Neighbour webpage over the next few days, okay? It's not going to be a lot, but I'm hoping it will at least help. Okay, and I'm trying to kind of, I've gotten involved in some other things, as you may have found from your message board. I am trying to kind of promote Neighbour everywhere I can, because it's a bloody good film to anybody who's watching this. Okay, try and take care of yourself, try and keep your chin up, okay? See you later, mate. And by the way, everybody, buy Neighbour by Robert Angelo Massantonio. It's fucking excellent. Bye.